Hello everyone, I'm back, your movie guru, with another review. This time I'm going to be reviewing, and you couldn't tell, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I'm going to say right off the bat, so he's got a 59% score by the critics and an 85% score by the audience. In this one, I am sad to say I identified more so with the critics on this one. And I'll tell you why. So for those of you who don't know anything about it, Venom, Let There Be Carnage is the sequel to 2018's Venom. You've got Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams are back, Woody Harrelson's back along for the ride. They kind of teased this at the end of the original Venom back in 2018, that he was going to be the main villain in this film as Carnage. And the reason I give it a 6.5 out of 10. And the reason for that is it does have a lot of the elements of what made the first one fun. But this one, I say they really kind of got more cartoonish and more silly. And sometimes I believe that works for a film. If it's just meant to be entertaining and just for you to have a good time, you can press the I believe button and just sit back and be entertained. Sometimes I believe that works well. This one, for me, it didn't work as much as the original film did. The original one, I think it was definitely on the sillier side. Some of it was a bit cartoonish, but it was a good time. It was entertaining. It never got to the point for me where it was like, where I saw something happen and was like, okay, that is absolutely completely ridiculous. And takes you out of the frame of the film. Especially I'd say that, that given how many superhero films there are now, and so you've got this kind of risk of oversaturation, but you've also got you've got the risk of comparison. And any superhero film that comes out now, we automatically are going to compare it to ones by DC and ones by Marvel and how those are doing. And for those of you who don't know, Venom is owned by Marvel. He's classically a Spider-Man villain. However, Sony owns the rights to this character, and they've been the ones that have been making, they made the previous film and then they made this film. It's kind of been a bit of a tug of war along with Spider-Man, the Spider-Man franchise between Marvel and Sony on that regard. But given that, that anyone who knows Spider-Man, so if you're a Spider-Man fan or if you're a superhero film fan, you can't help but judge this film against the backdrop of all the other superhero films that have come out in the past decade or so. And that's where I believe that it falls short. So a lot of other films you have seen have either been, a superhero movie, but it's serious and, you can take it somewhat realistically. And you've had the ones that are a bit more silly, but were still fun and, you had a good time. Compared to those, there are quite a few of the hero films that I say that did it better. And not to say, I've just talked a lot about, the negatives of this film. It's not to say that you won't have a fun time. Like I said, it's got a high score by the audience. A lot of comedy, similar to the first film that was enjoyable about the first film. I'd say the chemistry between Tom Hardy and then, the alien Venom, it makes for a lot of funny moments and a good back and forth throughout the entire movie. So that they had in the first film, they brought that with this film. You enjoy that. A lot of the things that Venom can do and then that you see Carnage do, those parts are fun. Seeing a new type of alien and seeing the things they can do, a lot of entertaining action sequences. I really enjoyed those. And then Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson are both phenomenal actors. Michelle Williams does a good job as well. So that, that definitely brings you in. You're not going to complain about that. But there were, I'd say, several times where I felt that, okay, this is a bit over the top, even for a superhero film. And then, like I said, comparing it to how Marvel and DC have done their films. DC obviously doesn't have as great as a track record, but they still got some really good ones. Seeing it against that backdrop and then seeing it, comparing it to the original, I'd say that's what made me give it about a 6.5. That's not to say that you won't be entertained. I think that if you really, really enjoyed the original one, if you really want to go out and see an action movie, you're just going out to be entertained, you want to have a good time, this is something that you can go out and see with your friends, and you're not going to be bored. I can guarantee you that. You're going to make it. It's got a brisk run time, just an hour and 30 minutes. So from the beginning to the end, you're going to be entertained, and you're not going to be looking at your watch saying, when is this over? And no spoilers, but stay for a post-credit scene. It's actually around in the middle of the credits, and it has big news for the future of the Venom franchise, similar to how the first film kind of set up the events that happened in this film and gave you a little teaser of what's to come. Well, the mid-credit scene in this one sets up a very big teaser, a little tidbit of what's to come ahead. So 6.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think. I can definitely see a lot of people disagreeing with me on this one, saying that I had a lot of fun with this film. I thought it was really entertaining. You should have gave it a higher score. Or maybe even a few of you think that I was too soft on it and say that didn't know this film was completely ridiculous. You should have gave it a lower score. I didn't enjoy it at all. So let me see. Write me a comment. We can get into it. It'll be a very entertaining time. If nothing else, I will say that the film was pretty entertaining, and you will definitely remember that about it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you like what you see, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.